This is Mindfulness with Richard. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. What am I doing? That's what I'm doing. Okay. Excuse me, I'm still surprisingly clumsy at this, even though I do it every week. Welcome. Today, I'm going to talk about finding peace within yourself. Finding peace within yourself is one of the most fulfilling aspects of mindfulness. Life often feels like it's pulling you in many directions at once. It can be easy to lose touch with the quiet, steady center within you. Mindfulness offers a way to reconnect with that inner calm, helping you discover the profound peace that has always been there. Mindfulness begins with awareness. By sitting quietly and focusing on the present moment, you create space to notice your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. The practice is not about forcing your mind to be silent. It's about observing what arises with kindness and curiosity. Over time, this gentle awareness uncovers a deeper truth. Peace is not something you have to chase. It's already a part of you, waiting to be noticed. The benefits of this practice are far-reaching. When you stop resisting the present moment, you let go of tension and self-criticism. Instead of feeling at odds with yourself, you begin to feel more at home in your own mind and body. This sense of ease spills over into your relationships and daily life, allowing you to meet challenges with clarity and patience. To explore this, try a simple technique called the pause and breathe method. Whenever you feel stressed or overwhelmed, pause for a moment. Take 3 slow, deep, mindful breaths, paying close attention to the sensation of air moving in and out of your body. This small act of mindfulness can interrupt stress and help you return to a more centered state. Another helpful practice is loving kindness meditation. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and bring to mind a thought of yourself. Slowly repeat phrases like, "May I be peaceful. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering." Words like this cultivate self-compassion, which is essential for inner peace. Mindfulness is not about creating a perfect state of mind. It's about learning to sit with imperfection and finding contentment even when life feels messy. By returning to the present moment again and again, you deepen your connection to the stillness within you. This inner peace becomes a source of strength and resilience, supporting you through whatever comes your way. And now for a guided meditation. Begin by finding a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, allow your shoulders to drop and relax and your body to settle. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice the rhythm of each inhale and exhale. Feel the air moving through your nostrils, down into your lungs, and back out again. With each breath, imagine a wave of relaxation moving through your body. Start at the top of the head and let the wave travel down to your toes, releasing tension as it goes. Gently remind yourself there's nothing to do right now but breathe and be here. If your mind starts to wander, simply bring your focus back to the breath. Bring to mind a thought of yourself. Silently repeat, may I be peaceful. May I be kind to myself. May I feel at ease. Notice the stillness within you. It's always there beneath the surface of your thoughts. Let yourself rest in this quiet space. Stay with this. Now gently bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes, stretch if you like, and open your eyes when you're ready. And carry this sense of peace that you've cultivated with you into the rest of the day. Now, Joyce, how's your meditation been?
Well, in some ways, this time of year is good for non-contemplator. If you wake up at the same time, there's a fair amount of time that you can just lay there and meditate first thing in the morning. And I find that very restful. That's been a very good way to start my days the last couple of weeks. So that's been very good.
Uh-huh. So
And
again,
usually,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and usually while petting that repetitive motion is also.
And, I'm glad to see that the meditation really has become a part of your life. Okay, how's it been for you, Carol?
Um, it's been good. Your your encouragement, my live-in guru has been encouraging me, and it's been good. I think the best thing for me is, if we listen to an audio by our teacher, then I find myself, going back to it in my mind later on. So that's extra. That's good.
Mm-hmm. The kind of quality teaching that we got from Nomi, you can listen to again and again.
Indeed, that's what we have learned over the years.
Yes. Anyway, now I have another Alan Watts video. This one might be a little deeper than some, but here we go. Oop, it's something stopped. Here we're not going. I'll try again. No, there's something wrong. Yeah. Okay, I know what it is. Excuse me. This time I have it, I think, I hope.
Supposing that I say to you, each one of you is really the great self, the Brahman. And you say, well, all you've said up till now makes me fairly sympathetic to this intellectually, but I don't really feel it. What must I do to feel it really? My answer to you is this. You ask me that question because you don't want to feel it really. You're frightened of it. And therefore, what you're going to do is you're going to get a method of practice so that you can put it off. So that I can say, well, I can be a long time on the way getting this thing. And then maybe I'll be worthy of it after I have suffered enough. See, because we are brought up in a social scheme whereby we have to deserve what we get. And the price that one pays for all good things is suffering. But all of that is precisely postponement, because one is afraid here and now to see it. If you had the nerve, real nerve, You would see it right away. Only that would be, when one feels you shouldn't have nerve like that. Why, that would be awful. That would be, that wouldn't do at all. Because after all, I'm supposed to be poor little me. And I'm not really much of a muchness. And I'm playing the role of being poor little me. And therefore, in order to be something great, like a Buddha or a Jivan Mukta, one liberated in this life, I ought to suffer for it. So you can suffer for it. There are all kinds of ways invented for you to do this. And you can discipline yourself, and you can gain control of your mind, and you can do all sorts of extraordinary things. I mean, you can drink water in through your rectum and do the most fantastic things. But that's just like being able to run the 100 yards in 9 seconds, or push a peanut up Mount Tamalpais with your nose, or any other kind of accomplishment you want to engage in. There's absolutely nothing to do with the realization of the self. The realization of the self fundamentally depends on coming off it. You know, the sort of, when we say to people who put on some kind of an act, we say, oh, come off it. And some people can come off it. They laugh and say they suddenly realize, you know, they were making fools of themselves, and they laugh at themselves and they come off it. So in exactly the same way, the guru, the teacher, is trying to make you come off it. Now, if he finds he can't make you come off it, he's going to put you through all these exercises, so that you'll, at the last time, when you've got enough discipline, and enough suffering, and enough frustration, you'll give it all up and realize you were there for the beginning and there was nothing to realize. But the guru is very clever. He says, all right, if this is the way you have to go, this is the way you have to go. You asked for it. You came to me. I didn't invite you, you see, the guru says. You came to me and said, I want to learn yoga. Well, he said, yoga is union. You're tattvamasi, you know, you're that. Well, no, you say, I'm sorry, I don't understand that, because I only get it intellectually. I don't feel it. Oh, he says, you're one of those. So I see, I've got to satisfy you. The customer is always right. No? I've got to give you all this work to do, because you can't see directly that this is so. But he's looking at you in a funny way, you see. The guru is always saying to you, you know, what are you doing? What's your game? Imagine, for example, a father confessor, and you feel terribly guilty that you've committed murders and robberies and adulteries and fornications and all kinds of arson and injury to people and financial shenanigans. And you go to this man and say, I am a terrible sinner. Oh, he says, really? He said, I have murdered somebody. He says, how many times? And you think, oh, good Lord, this man doesn't realize how awful I am. And you recite all these things. He's perfectly calm. And then you say to him, well, you don't seem to be very shocked. Well, he said, you haven't confessed any serious sins. He said, what do you mean by a serious sin? Well, he said, what do you think? Well, I don't know. I just feel wrong. I just feel there's something in the basis of me that tells me that I am not what I ought to be. Could it be that I'm spiritually proud? That I'm egocentric? He says, no, this is not. It's very usual. This is quite ordinary sin. But he says, you are guilty of something. Something really terrible. And what could that be? Well, I have no idea. Now he says, come on. Come on. Go deeper. What is the real sin you've committed? And you think, what, me? I, little me, could do something worse than murder, worse than spiritual pride? Just little me? I mean, I'm a reasonably well-intentioned person. What could that be? And he looks at you in a funny way. Says, you know. You know, it's a kind of a Kafkaesque situation where you're accused of a crime that's not specified, and yet the accuser says, you jolly well know what you've done. Of course, we can't mention it. Because, it's like those laws that are on the books in the state of California and several other states where people are accused of the abominable crime against nature. Nobody knows what it is. I mean, it can't be mentioned. It's too dreadful to be talked about. So this guy does the same thing, but it's in a different dimension. You've done it. Now what? Well, what did you do? See, the real crime is that you won't admit you're God. That's false modesty. So the guru challenges, you see. He challenges you. If you raise the question, he doesn't go out and preach in the streets and say, come on, everybody, you ought to be converted. He sits down under a tree and waits. And people start coming around, and they offer him propositions. He answers back. And he challenges you in any way that he thinks is appropriate to your situation. Now, if you've got a thin shell and your mask is easily dispatched with, he simply uses what we might call an easy method. He says, listen, Shiva, come off it. Don't pretend you're this guy here. I know who you are. And the guy sort of twinkles a bit and says, well, I guess you're right. But the people aren't like that. They have very thick shells. And so he has to invent ways of cracking them. So here is how it goes. Supposing that I say to you, supposing that I say to you,
Okay, and now let us spend a few minutes in meditation. Mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. Oh, great. And we'll close with a chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Now, I should have given an introduction to that Alan Watts video. I said in the talk that peace is who you are. And people add all kind of complications to it when you say that to them. And so that's really what he was talking about is these kind of complications that people make in their own life instead of, just accepting the peace that is always there.
Interesting that he said the guru's task is to crack through your shell. That was very
Yes,
interesting.
and as someone who has uh, tried to crack through that for uh, decades, there are a lot of these ideas that we really hang on to.
Very true.
But the peace is always there. We just cover it with all this middle stuff.
That's true. Meditation is so good for peace.
Hmm. Anyway, have a good week and good meditation when you'll see you next week.
Sounds good. See you later.